What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to episode 2 of high protein meals that I make as a fit girl who doesn't cut her bulk. I changed it from what I cook to what I make because I realized that as this series goes on, not everything in life needs to be cooked. Like some of my favorite meals that I make are just things that I make. Hint, hint to something that we're gonna make today. So we're gonna do 2 recipes today, and it's going to be 2 breakfast recipes, 2 of my favorites and 2 very high protein options that don't suck and they taste delicious. So let's go. Recipe number 1 that we're gonna be making today is gonna be one of my all-time favorite breakfasts. Can't stress that enough. It's gonna be high protein French toast. And before you guys make that face that ugh. I know we've all been traumatized by high protein recipes we've seen online, and it's just like, ew, like it was so gross. It was a gross experience. I promise you I wouldn't be sharing my recipes with you guys if it was gross. Okay, I will never share a gross recipe with you guys. This is delicious, and it tastes like mom's French toast, except we're doing a little high protein twist to it, but nothing gross. None of that, like, you know, whatever gross stuff that we see with certain high protein recipes. It's good, it's really yummy. And it'll only take you guys, it takes me about 10 minutes in the morning, so let's jump into it. We have our 3 slices here of brioche, or right now I'm using challah, which is kind of like a brioche texture. Brioche bread is one of the best breads to use for making French toast. It's just that really nice, fluffy, buttery type of bread. If you don't wanna use brioche, then just get like regular white bread at your local grocery store, but today I'm using challah. I got it from our bakery, our local bakery today. So let's start with the batter. I'm going to crack 2 eggs into a dish. You want a dish sort of like this, kind of that has edges, but it's also flat enough to fit your bread into it. So not like a small bowl and not like a flat out plate where like all the liquid can spill over. So something with edges, yet it's still like wide enough. So I'm using this kind of like wide, looks like a dog bowl. Again, I measure with my heart. You guys know that. We measure with our hearts over here. But if I could guess when it comes to the amount of egg whites that I put into this, like that wasn't enough, so I'm gonna add more. That's why I have 2. See, I came prepped. I came prepped with 2 because I already knew that amount in that carton was not gonna be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About like 5 to 7 seconds of egg whites. So if I were to guess, maybe like half a cup of egg whites. No, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, something like that. 5 to 7 seconds of egg whites. We have our 2 very important ingredients here, guys, that were not set up in the initial setup. But you need cinnamon and you definitely need vanilla extract. Otherwise, like, why is it French toast? Like, so again, measure with your heart. I like a lot of cinnamon. And do you guys wanna know something about cinnamon? It's a very anti-inflammatory as well as a metabolism booster. I just recently learned that, which is kind of crazy. And I love cinnamon. So I'm not some like nutritionist or whatever. I'm not a dietitian, not a nutritionist, but I saw other nutritionists and stuff like that talking about how cinnamon is a very good metabolism booster and it's very good for anti-inflammatory purposes. And I love cinnamon. I put it on my cappuccinos every single morning. I put it in my oats. I put it in my French toast. I put it in my yogurt bowl sometimes. If you don't like cinnamon, also grow up. Remember last episode, we said if you don't like mushrooms, you gotta grow up. If you don't like cinnamon, you gotta grow up, okay? You gotta like cinnamon. Now, vanilla extract. This is how I measure it. I literally don't get a spoon or anything. I like fill up the cap of this bottle, swear to God. I just fill it up like that, and then I dump it in. That's my measurement. So that's how much vanilla I put in. A cap of this bottle of vanilla, and then a ton of cinnamon. You can put less if you don't like cinnamon. But again, if you don't like cinnamon, grow up. Now, grab a fork, tilt the bowl on an angle, and gently give it a whisk. Why do I say tilt it on an angle? It's just easier to whisk and mix the ingredients when you kind of pool it in one corner of the bowl / container that you're making your mixture in. Okay, I'm just gonna whisk it until all the egg yolks are completely mixed in with the ingredients and everything is just cohesive, you know? Once I'm happy with how it looks and how cohesive everything looks, it should look like this, kind of like brownish, yellowish, with speckles of cinnamon throughout. It smells delicious already. I know for a fact you guys know this smells delicious. Okay guys, I like to add a little bit of milk to my French toast too. I love how I had this whole like thing of ingredients at the start when I was like, we're gonna make French toast today. And it was like literally like the bare minimum ingredients. Like I didn't even have like the staples that I would use. Anyways, whatever. I'm gonna put a splash of milk in this. There, splash of milk, done. I don't know what that measurement was. And then whisk, 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 whisk. Now with that splash of milk, we've got a lighter color here, but this is perfect to me. This looks nice and like creamy and ready to go. Now, this is important. We're gonna head over to the stove now because we don't wanna make a mess. Because what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna dunk the bread, okay, and really submerge, and it's gonna be soaking wet, and I have to immediately transfer it to the nice like heated pan. So let's head over to the stove now. Have your butter ready. You guys know butter has got to be one of my favorite ingredients, if you guys know from last episode. And as this series goes on, you know butter's kind of like my best friend. I love butter. We love her. She's great. She makes everything taste delicious. That's a fact. That is not an opinion, that is a fact. Anyways, get your butter in the pan. Also, I forgot to say, I preheated this to a low heat. Medium low is good. Preferably low. If you want a low and slow French toast, you want it low and slow. You don't want to just like burn it into flames, you know? So medium, low heat is good. I think I have it on low right now. Take a good amount of butter, a nice hefty amount, and put it in the pan. My hands are clean, guys. You guys know I wash my hands like every 10 seconds. So you see how I'm kind of like spreading it out with my finger to get it like nicely coated. You could also pick up the pan and like roll it around, but now is the time to soak and bring it over. So what we're gonna do with this mixture here, take our challah bread or your brioche bread or your white bread, whatever bread you prefer. I wouldn't recommend any like low carb, low calorie breads though, guys. You want like a nice tasting French toast. I mean, like unless that's part of your diet plan and you have to have like a low carb toast, then sure, but having a nice buttery, thick toast, that slice is gonna give you the best outcome for French toast. You see that? Nicely coated, and we have it right beside the pan to not make a mess. Okay, I want it like extra coated in that cinnamon and egg wash, and we're gonna plop it in the pan there. Now, get the other one. We have to do them quickly because you want them to cook at the exact same rate. You don't want them to cook like at different rates and, you know, all be different. And you know what my little trick is? I take the leftover mixture, because we don't waste any protein, any food we just don't waste in general. And I take that and I pour it all over the rest of the toast. So now we're left with zero mixture, no waste, everything's being used. You're getting all your calories, all your deliciousness in there, okay? Okay, so now that we have our French toast here on a medium-ish low heat, I'm going to let it cook for about 3 minutes per side, maybe 4 minutes, but usually 3 minutes. I lift the lid and I check, which I forgot to mention, we're gonna put a lid on it to help it cook quicker. That's how I cook my French toast. So get a big enough lid to kind of plop on it like that and leave her alone, let her cook. I'm gonna set a timer for 3 minutes and I will check on her in 3 minutes, but leave her alone. All right guys, it's been 3 minutes. Let's see if my 3-minute rule and leaving her alone actually works. Okay. We should have a nice golden brown, okay? And what is that I see? That is a nice golden brown. When you leave her alone for 3 minutes on medium low, you get a nice golden brown, okay? Look at that. We love that. We love to see her thriving. Now, we flip, and what do? We leave her alone with the lid on for another 3 minutes. Very, very easy recipe to do, guys. 3-minute timer. There we go. And after this 3 minutes, she's gonna be fully cooked. And it's one of the easiest recipes, guys, I'm telling you, and it's so delicious. Oh my gosh, like your moms will be quivering because of my recipe. It's so good. I'm just kidding. I'm coming for all your mom's home cookings. Guys, I'm excited for the reveal. You know why? Because I just know it's gonna be super fluffy. When you leave it alone, it becomes really fluffy, and I know she's done. I know she's done when it's like doubled in size, the French toast. Do you see how big those are? How much they doubled? That's how you know they're all fluffy and ready to go. They're done. There we go. These are our 3 perfectly cooked, ready, high volume, high protein French toasts, ready to be dressed up. If you thought we stopped here, no, we didn't. We're about to dress this baby up, so let's go. Final steps, guys. This is my secret ingredient. Not very secret, but this is how I love to dress up my French toast. All right, we're gonna dress it up with sugar. This is how I eat my French toast. And it's not like it's an absurdly unhealthy amount of sugar. Like watch how much I'm gonna put. But if you want that nice crispy outer texture, like a very kind of like lazy creme brulee, if that kind of makes sense, like a crunchy outer texture, this is my trick. Like literally my trick. So I take the sugar. Did you see that? That was a teaspoon. That's why I'm saying it's not absurdly unhealthy or an absurd amount of sugar. Like it's like literally a teaspoon. So I take the sugar and I legit just shake it over all the French toast. That was 1 teaspoon of sugar, guys. So see, it's not unhealthy. It's just, yum, I'm gonna take a little bit more. Okay, a teaspoon and a quarter. I really like the extra crunch of the sugar. 100% real Canadian pure maple syrup. If you don't have this, I'm so sorry to my Americans and everybody else that doesn't have access to this. Real Canadian maple syrup is goated. But I also love, you know, like the fake diner syrups that, you know, they serve in IHOP and Denny's and all those places, like those diners. Those are also really good syrups. If you have that, go ahead and use it. If you're like on a diet kick and you wanna use like those sugar-free syrups, go ahead and use that too. I'm sure it'll taste just as delicious for you guys. But I like to use the real thing, the real deal, Canadian maple syrup. And yes, ignore the calories on the back. There is 200 calories for 4 tablespoons of maple syrup, but it's okay because you know what? I don't diet, I don't cut or bulk. I enjoy food. And this is high protein, yet it's still delicious. I told you it was gonna taste delicious because look at how we're dressing it up. So I'm just gonna like eyeball the measurements here. You can do more, you can do less. That looks good for me. I don't absolutely drench it. Like look, like the plate isn't like a pool of maple syrup. It's just enough to cover each piece of toast. So that's a reasonable amount. And then remember the berries we had at the beginning of the video? I'm gonna top it off with some berries because we are healthy and balanced. And if you wanna top it off with extra cinnamon, you can, but I already poured a bunch of cinnamon into the mixture, so I already know this is a really cinnamony French toast. But there you have it. High protein, very delicious French toast. MDJ style. This should only take you guys about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes tops. And look at how much you get. You get 3 pieces here of French toast. You get your berries, so you're getting your micronutrients and your antioxidants from the berries. You're getting your carbs from the bread. You're getting your carbs also from obviously the sugars that are in it. You're getting your high protein from the egg whites. Remember what I talked about egg whites in the last video and eggs and the benefits of both, but we're also getting the benefits of eggs, okay? We're getting our omega-3s from the eggs and we're getting our high protein, our extra high protein from the egg whites. So this is a very well-balanced, very delicious, high-protein breakfast. On to the next recipe, and the next one is actually gonna take us only 5 minutes to make. All right, guys, last recipe of today is another breakfast recipe, and this should only take you 3 to 5 minutes to make. Absolutely no time at all. And it's perfect for my girls that are on the go. So I'm talking like you need to rush out the door in the morning, like you have an early morning shift or you need to get the kids to school, whatever you're doing, you just gotta grab it out the fridge and eat it on the way to work. This is the recipe, this is the one. You know why? Because you make it the night before. Can we take a guess what it is? Overnight oats. We're doing overnight oats, guys. This is the one for you. High protein, very delicious, very well balanced. You can grab it out the fridge and go about your day in 2 seconds. And you make it the night before, so you don't have to worry about cooking anything the next day. There's no cooking involved in this. So, let's get our ingredients. Ingredients: oats, Greek yogurt, honey, cinnamon, vanilla extract, milk, berries. This is my standard delicious way of making it, the standard deliciousness, but I also make it other ways too. If you guys like peanut butter, if you guys like chocolate chips, like I've made like Reese's style kind of overnight oats where it's like obviously peanut butter and chocolate chips, but this is gonna be my berry vanilla-y overnight oats. Very yummy, very simple, and I feel like it's a flavor that can tend to all palates. All right, the only thing that I really measure in this recipe is the oats. Everything else I measure with my heart. You guys know I do that, but the oats, to be somewhat accurate, to get the texture and the consistency right, I do have to kind of measure that. So I'm gonna do a 1/2 cup of oats, so 2 1/4 cups to equal a 1/2 cup. Okay, so a 1/2 cup of oats, done. Now, we're gonna put in our berries, get the messiest part out of the way too. A hack, if you guys find berries really expensive at the grocery store, because I know we're all struggling with inflation right now and the price of groceries is ridiculous, especially if you guys live in Canada. My Canadian girls, I know the price of groceries is stupid right now. So berries cost a pretty penny. Like the fresh berries, right? Unless you can get them on sale, which I sometimes can get them on sale, so it's great. But if you guys are like, oh my gosh, like I literally can't afford to like grab just like fresh berries all the time and just like throw them in my overnight oats like that, This is a cheaper option and it's a great option for overnight oats. I literally love this. I put it in my Greek yogurt bowls, I put it in my cottage cheese bowls, I put it in my overnight oats. This thing goes a long way and it's totally worth the money because you get so many berries in here and it's still berries. It's not, there's nothing fake about it. It's just literally frozen berries. I'm gonna take my very cleaned hand because I don't want to spill anything and just take whatever I feel like putting in here. Oh, I still spilled. Okay. I like berries. So that's why there's a lot in there. All right, berries are in. Now, we're gonna take our Greek yogurt, and this is what makes it very high protein. We are gonna get 0%. I get the Costco Kirkland 0% Greek yogurt in the pack of 3. It only costs, I believe, $11.99 Canadian dollars. It is super worth going to Costco for Greek yogurt and things like this, because if you know, Canadian grocery prices for just a single tub of 0% Greek yogurt at the grocery store, like a regular grocery store, costs about like $7.99 now these days. But I can get 3 of these 0% Kirkland Greek yogurts in a pack of 3 at Costco for $11.99. So, very worth the price. You get it in bulk, you get a lot of it, and it's very high protein. Like, look at the macros in this. Per 3/4 cup, we're getting 17 grams of protein. Crazy. So about a cup, you're getting 20 grams of protein per cup, which is crazy. But again, I measure with my heart. I would say if I were to kind of guess how much Greek yogurt I put in this, I think about anywhere from 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup, maybe 1/3 cup. If I put more oats, I would put like more. I basically use the Greek yogurt also as a thickening agent. So when people make overnight oats, if they're not focusing on high protein, they'll probably just use like a regular Activia yogurt, like a regular yogurt, a regular schmegular yogurt with the sugar in it and stuff like that. But because we want to add high protein to our oats, I use the 0% Greek yogurt. And yeah, it looks like about 1/3 of a cup in here. Depends how much protein you want to. Now, take the honey and measure with your heart. Okay, that looks good. That's a good chunk of honey on there. A nice amount to sweeten that all up. Okay, and then I know some people will probably be like, shouldn't you measure the milk to kind of get the consistency right? I kind of just eyeball this, guys. I eyeball it to see how much I feel like would be. I would say for a 1/2 cup of oats and 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt, about 1/3 cup of milk. 1/3 cup of milk, yeah. Maybe closer to a 1/2 cup, but about 1/3 cup of milk. Now I put the cinnamon. Again, really great properties to cinnamon. And then our handy dandy measuring device on the vanilla. I do 1/2 cup, not 1/2 cup, oh my gosh, don't do 1/2 cup. I do 1/2 cap. 1/2 cap of the lid. So on the French toast, for that mixture, the egg mixture, I did a full cap. For this one, I do 1/2 cap because I don't want it to be like too overpowering. Okay, we have all our ingredients in there. That should have taken you guys like seconds, if not a couple minutes, to add all those ingredients into our mason jar here. Also, if you don't have a mason jar, you can also do overnight oats in just a regular Tupperware, like a Rubbermaid Tupperware, whatever you guys have. Like I have like Dollarama Tupperwares that I do overnight oats in. It doesn't have to be a fancy mason jar, okay? It doesn't have to be aesthetic. Today it just looks a little bit aesthetic though. Okay, now we're just gonna mix it up. As carefully as you can. It'll eventually come together. And now it's fully mixed. That's what it should look like, especially if you're using berries, so it's gonna look like purplish pink. It's gonna be a very pretty color, and it's gonna be very liquidy in there, okay, once it's fully mixed. Like very, like, you're probably looking at it like, what the heck? It's like so liquidy. That's the point of overnight oats, though. You're gonna toss it in the fridge overnight or for 4 to 5 hours during the daytime if you wanna eat it later as a snack, because you need it to thicken up. The yogurt's gonna help it thicken up. The oats are also gonna absorb all that milk and all that liquid that's in there from whatever liquid we've put in there, AKA the milk. And once it absorbs all of that and once it thickens up, it's gonna be this nice, thick kind of porridge texture, a cold porridge texture. So you're gonna leave that in the fridge for a minimum of like 4 to 5 hours, but preferably overnight. So you can grab it in the morning. You can literally eat it on the car on the way to work. You can eat it at work, at your desk. You can literally eat it as a snack. Like you can grab it and eat it in the car. Like you can do whatever you want, but you can grab it in the morning and eat it quick. You can eat it here at home, but the point is you don't have to do anything in the morning besides grab it out of the fridge, get a spoon, and just enjoy it. All you gotta do is toss it in the fridge. And I did make one earlier, so I can show you guys what the finished thickened product looks like. So let's put this one in the fridge because she'll be ready tomorrow morning, and I'll get the one that is already ready. And this is the finished product. This one's a little bit less pink and purpley than the other one because I added a ton more berries in the one we just put in the fridge. This one, I think I only put like half of the amount of berries, so that's why it's not as purple pink. But this is what the finished product looks like. I did this one earlier in the morning, and I told you, it's been in the fridge for about 4 to 5 hours, so that's enough for it to thicken up and be ready to eat. So I did this one earlier in the morning and it's been 4 or 5 hours, and look, it's like thick. You see how there's like no loose liquid in there? You can see it's like really thickened up. It's kind of like reduced in size too because like it absorbed all that liquid that was like filling it up to the top. So now it's all thick and we must give it a try. We must. You see how nice and thick that is? Oh, to me, oh there, it's getting more pink the more I mix it. See? Look, now it's more aesthetic, guys. It's more purpley pink like the other one. See? It just needed a good mix. This is the final thickened overnight oats. Let's get the perfect bite. And there you have it. A perfect pink, delicious morning breakfast that takes you under 5 minutes to make the night before or a few hours in advance, and you can eat it on the go at any time that you want to eat it. You can make it as a meal prep for yourself or your partner, for your kids, whatever you want to do, but it's a great meal prep hack to save time, and it's very efficient and very high protein and very delicious and healthy as well, because you're getting your protein from the yogurt, you're getting your carbs from the oats, you're very satiating carbs because oats actually satiate you more than just a standard like white bread, for example. So the oats are even more satiating for you. And then you get your antioxidants from the berries in here, as well as your natural sweetness from the honey, and then your anti-inflammatory from the cinnamon. There is so much goodness in these overnight oats, and I promise you guys, you will love this recipe. If you like this one, let me know in the comments, and we can do other overnight oats recipes, like different versions of it if you want to see more. But let's give it a bite. That's so good. That is so good, guys. It's so yummy. Like I can't even, like there's hints of cinnamon, there's hints of vanilla, there's berries. Perfect. I love oats. To have such a convenient high protein breakfast like this, where you don't have to cook and you don't have to clean anything, you just grab it out the fridge and start eating, that's so awesome for everybody that's on the go or people that just don't have time in the mornings. So there you go. 2 breakfasts today. High protein French toast that you can treat yourself to on the weekends, or a quick weekly on the go breakfast like overnight oats. 2 very delicious, very high protein, very tasty meals that don't suck at all, that are some of my favorites that I make on a regular basis. Overnight oats and my high protein French toast. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed episode 2 of my new series, and I can't wait to see you guys back here for episode 3. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see from me in terms of recipes moving forward, but we have a long way to go together, and you guys know I love filming this series, so who knows what next episode's gonna be. It could be a longer one, shorter one. We could be doing dinners, we could be doing lunches, we could be doing breakfasts, we could be doing snacks. But we'll see. It's always a surprise with MDJ in the kitchen. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this one.